have your props nearby. I even like a pillow under my head, or at least a blanket for support. Once you're there, legs can take any shape. Arms can take any shape. Personally, for my lower back, I like my feet to the earth, teepee pose, knees knocking in slightly. You may choose a different shape for your legs. Whenever you find a comfortable position, start to find that sense of stillness. And when we find stillness in our body, we might pretty immediately notice some other things going on, like sounds that we hear. What it feels like kind of deeper inside of our skin. We may notice or be called to notice aches or pains, areas of tension. The invitation here is to notice, to be aware, but with a softness. Almost like there's no dialogue or conversation about what's happening. There's just the open understanding that sensation is there, sound is there, breath is there. And especially if, like me, you've had a cup of coffee or a little caffeine before this class, then the mind might be particularly chattery or chatty. And in that case, it can be helpful to just add the word in your mind, thinking. Just label it, thinking. And then come back to sensation, sound, and breath. When we arrive in this way, we endeavor to come home to ourselves. And no matter what is happening in our lives, what was happening right before this moment, we pause to simply recognize what is, without any judgment, without concept or expectation. And in this way, we meet ourselves with loving kindness, a sense of everything is okay. And from that space, we can begin to move with grace and intention. So taking the next few breaths a little bit deeper, inhaling into your belly, really filling the chest and lungs, maybe sigh it out. Squeezing air out before you inhale to fill again. And continue in this way, nice and slow breaths in and out. And allow an intention for your practice to arise in your mind. A sankalpa, something to draw your awareness back during your practice. And often when I can't think of something in particular, I just feel the breath and let that be my intention, to come back to that awareness that I am being breathed. On your next inhale, pause on full. Sip in just a little more air, really fill your lungs. Pause, relax your skin, and through your mouth, powerfully exhale. Good. So on your next inhale, find the great stretch, arms overhead. Point your toes. And exhale, draw your knees to your chest. Nice and slow. Grab your knees and hug them in. You're going to keep moving that way. Pretty slowly. Slide your feet forward and your arms back. A great stretch. And as you exhale, drag your heels on the earth to bring your knees back to your chest. Good. If your lower back is tender, really plant your feet before you slide the feet forward. And continue to plant your feet as you drag your heels towards your hips and then lift them knees to chest. And if you're feeling pretty confident in your lower back and want a little more, then as you exhale, lift your feet, really strengthen your core, draw your knees in, maybe lift nose to knees. Apanasana. Good, keep going, maybe hover your legs as far as you can before your feet hit the earth. Exhaling, Apanasana, knees to chest. Take about 3 more rounds wherever you're working. Good, and next time knees are to chest, pause there. And set your head down, and with the knees together, make a circle. So circling your knees one direction, taking a few breaths, finding your pace and rhythm, and change directions of your circles. Pause your movement, flex your feet, and with both legs, start to extend the feet toward the ceiling, and then bend your knees. Do this a few times, looking for a stretch in the hamstrings, so drawing toes toward the top of your head, just enough when your legs are straight to feel a stretch. Doesn't have to be an extreme stretch, just sensation in the back of your legs. If it feels good, pause for your stretch, feet toward the ceiling, flex your feet and separate your feet a little bit so there's space between them. Good. Some engagement in your core here. You can always grip the sides of your mat and kind of draw down toward the front of your mat to plant your shoulders. Good. Then we'll move our feet. Point your toes, flex your feet, and alternate back and forth. Nice and slow, start to trace circles with the toes. And keep breathing. And go the opposite direction. See how slow you can go. Tendency may be to want to go fast. And often when we're going fast, we're kind of barreling through those little areas that are more sticky, maybe less pleasant. So it's important that we have that mobility in this full circle and range. Good. Pause, take a breath. And as you exhale, widen your feet nice and wide apart. So keep them extended toward the ceiling. Take an inhale here. And exhale, cross your feet. So left foot over right, still extended up toward the ceiling. Inhale to open the legs wide. Exhale, cross your feet opposite way, maybe right ankle over left. Good, continue at your pace and moving with your breath. Strong core. See if you can take just a little more effort in your lower belly and less effort in the tops of your shoulders. 2 more, nice and slow. Good, when you're ready, knees to chest, and once again, the great stretch. This time, pause in the great stretch and reach through right fingers and right toes, and switch to left fingers, left toes, and once more on each side, stretching through the right side body and left side body. Good, pause your movement, and then roll onto your right side. So bending your knees, roll to the right fetal position. You can cradle your head with your right arm and plant your left hand in front of you. Good, take a breath. We'll have a couple options for where this right arm is underneath of us, so kind of depend on what happens when we move. We're gonna find knee circles. So top leg or left leg, flex that foot and start to draw a big circle in space, out in front of you and up toward the ceiling. So if you feel like when your knee is coming back, you're gonna fall back over, you might prop yourself on your right elbow and keep that left hand in front of you on the floor. Again, moving pretty slowly. Tendency might be to move fast through areas that just don't feel as nice. Switch directions of your circles and see if you can move even slower this direction. Good, one more big circle. And then stack your knees. If you haven't already, prop yourself up on your right elbow. Good, push that elbow into the earth and roll your right shoulder up and back, broad chest. Left hand to the back of your head. Good, push your head into your hand, drop your shoulders from your ears, and we'll find a twist here. Inhale, reach your left elbow behind you, and exhale, elbow to elbow, curl in. Try and touch your elbow. You don't have to, it's just the goal. Good, inhale to expand, reach the chest up toward the ceiling, and exhale, curl in, twist. Just a few more times at your pace. Good, come back onto your right side. So outside of the right shoulder is down, left hand is to the mat. Bring your right hand around your rib cage. So right hand to left rib cage. So it's underneath of your armpit and it's just there to hold on to something. Left hand just in front of your right shoulder on the floor. Good, tricep push-ups. From here, press your left hand into the earth and see if you can lift your shoulders off the earth, lift your torso off the earth, and then lower back down. So you're using your left hand to push your upper body off the earth and then slowly descend. We'll just do 3 more, 5 total. Push off the earth, press your left hand down, and come back down. Good, resting your head at the bottom, 2 more. Good, next time your shoulder hits the earth, rest your head, and then reach your left arm toward the ceiling, all the way over to the left so you come into a twist on your back. Arms are in a T, and knees are leaning to the right side. I'm going to take a few breaths here. You can stay in the comfortable twist of your choice. My next option to give you is left hand. Turn it down toward the earth, so palm down, and press into your palm like the mound of your index finger was really rooting into the earth. Good, as you push your left palm down gently, turn your chin toward your right shoulder. So you're facing the same direction as your knees, and your opposite hand, left hand, is pressing down. Notice if you feel this as a stretch somewhere, maybe in the left side of your neck or chest, and breathe into that space. And in our online classes, sometimes it's a little hard to see what I'm doing. So if anything ever gets confusing, just do your own thing. A simple twist on your back is a wonderful thing for your body. Good. If you've included that little bit of extra head to center to start, good. Bring your knees back to center. And we'll just roll to the other side. Roll to the left, find a fetal position, and take a breath. I'm going to turn around so you can still see me. And cradling your head in your left arm, right hand to the earth. First thing, knee circles. Big circles with the right knee in space, flex your foot. If you feel like you're going to fall backwards in space, prop yourself on your left elbow. And imagine that the air around you was very thick and it was difficult to move your knee. And then go the other direction. And beautiful movements. Pause and stack your knees. Right hand to the back of your head. We'll find our twist. Inhale to open the chest up. Elbow back. Exhale, elbow toward elbow. A few times at your pace. Gently pushing your head into your hand. Take one more. And then lower back down, fetal position. Good. Grab the outside of your right rib cage. The right hand just in front of your left shoulder on the earth. Squeeze your inner thighs together and push your right hand down to lift your torso up. Hips stay down on the earth. Good. Slowly descend to lower. Take 4 more rounds. Push into your right hand. Lift your shoulders and chest. Lower down 3 more. You might have noticed that one side felt easier, more difficult than the other. And once you're done with your 5 total, we'll find that supine twist, rolling the upper back down on the earth and releasing arms out to the sides. Knees can stay stacked and legs can be relaxed here if you wish. You can stay here. Our next option would be flip your right palm down. Try and plant the full palm on the earth. Good. If you're feeling enough of a stretch, pause here, head at center. To feel a little more, turn your head away from your right hand, facing the same direction as your knees. And breathing deeply into any stretch that you feel. Letting awareness graze over sensation. Just taking gentle inventory without dialogue, without judgment. First shift is head to center. Bring your knees to center and knees to chest. From here, rock and roll side to side or forward and backward, a few times massaging your spine. And then we'll roll all the way into our seat. Once you're there, you'll go right into this little flow. So we'll kind of do a side stretch and then a sweeping forward action to get to the other side. So we'll have lots of room for movement here. Let's start with left hand down, right arm up, side stretch. Big inhale. As you exhale, right arm sweeps forward in space, both arms sweep forward, and you end in the side stretch toward the right side. Good, same movement to get to your side stretch on the left, sweeping hands forward, peeling open that top shoulder to expose the chest toward the ceiling. Good, big inhales once you reach your side stretch, and exhales to sweep you forward and around. And see if you can root down through both sits bones. One will want to lift a little bit as you reach toward the side. But we're looking for that stretch anywhere along side body, lower back. Even out both sides, and then come all the way to center and into tabletop pose. And any padding under the knees, feel free. And find your traditional cat-cow. And you can continue moving in your favorite variation of cat-cow. Or I'll invite one little nuance here. For cow pose, curl your toes under and press down through your toes. On your exhale, flip your feet, shoelace side down, and around your back, press into your feet. Good, continue curling your toes for cow. Tops of your feet down for cat. 3 more rounds at your pace. When you're ready, neutral spine and either downward facing dog or child's pose. Lengthening the spine and relaxing your head in space. If you found down dog, feel free to add any movement in your legs. And in child's pose, feel free to rock your head side to side and massage your forehead on the earth. We'll meet in a standing forward fold. Take your time to get there. Once you're there, ragdoll, grasping either elbows, a little bend in the knees to release your torso and release your head. Big breaths into your upper back. Sighing breaths out if you'd like. On your next exhale, squeeze your navel back toward your spine and roll up to standing. Good, pause at the top and sense your feet on the earth. Take a big inhale, gather space, reach up. Maybe gaze at your thumbs and exhale, hands to your heart. Good, let's do that a few times. Inhale, sweep your arms up, gaze up. See if you can find your thumbs with your eyes, and exhale, follow them with your gaze down to your heart. A little movement in the neck and the eyeballs. Inhale, reach up, look up. Exhale, gaze down, hands down. One more time. Inhale, reach up, gaze up, and exhale, back to center. Take a breath in, full exhale. Good, grab your strap or scarf or belt, whatever you got. We're gonna unravel it so that our hands can be in a placement that's much wider than our shoulders. Good, making sure that that tail stays somewhere where you can see it so you're not gonna trip over it. We're gonna keep the hands at this distance. Bring the strap forward and down, keep your gaze steady, somewhere forward and down. Bend your knees and step your left foot behind you, warrior one. Back heel down, front knee slightly bent. Good, square your rib cage and shoulders toward the front of your mat. And bend your elbows a little bit, try and separate your hands, really grab your strap. Good, shoulder flossing. As you inhale, reach your arms up. We'll start here and exhale forward and down. Keep the hands separating and still gripping the strap. Inhale to reach up. Maybe this time, if your arms go behind your head, exhale, reach that strap back behind you. If that feels unattainable, widen your hands. Inhale to reach up and exhale forward and down. Good, keep pulling your hands apart, micro bend in your elbows. Making sure there's no pain here. If there's any pain, widen your hands. Or if it feels really easy, then narrow your hands. Walk them a little closer together. Beautiful. Next time your strap is behind you towards your lower back, pause there. Roll your shoulders back and lift your chest. Press into both feet, especially your heels, and then start to lower your chest forward and down. Really press into your back foot. Two options. You can lay on your front thigh, or for a little more work, bring your torso to the inside of your right thigh. Shoulders are reaching up and back, arms are straight at this point, and maybe relax your head if you feel stable enough. 3 full breaths. On an inhale, press into both feet, come all the way up, root to rise. Release your strap, set it down beside you, just let it drop even noisily. No one can hear you, but, and then inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, hands through your heart. And then hands down to frame your front foot. Back heel high and back knee down, low lunge. Good, we've done this a few times in my classes. Left hand down to the earth, right arm peels open to the sky. And take an inhale here, and exhale, think thread the needle. Right arm underneath left armpit, just reach toward the wall in that direction. Inhale to reach arm up and overhead. Exhale, thread the needle, right arm under left. If you need more room for your torso, you can walk your right foot out in space a couple of inches, even a foot. Good, next time your right arm is up and overhead, walk your right foot back in if it was over to the right. Press into both feet powerfully, squeeze your navel back, and float up to a twist, standing on your left knee. Good, big inhale, full exhale. Inhale, both hands sweep forward and up. Exhale, hands frame your front foot, and right knee meets the left, tabletop pose. But any organic movement, hips side to side, cat-cow. And then we'll come all the way onto our bellies. Whenever you get there, hands stay next to the lowest ribs on the floor. Bring your forehead down, but draw your elbows together, like close to each other over your spine. Reach through your toes so much that your kneecaps lift. And baby cobras, inhale, elbows reach together to lift your chest. Exhale to lower back down. Keep reaching through your toes, take 5 total. Take one more inhale to lift. See if you can hover your hands or at least less weight in them. And exhale to lower back down. Take an inhale here. And exhale, push off the earth. See if you can lift hips and chest at the same time. Child's pose or down dog. 5 to 7 breaths of time here for organic movement, for play, optional vinyasas, or rest. Take your time to find a standing forward fold. Good. Once you get there, widen your feet a little wider than your hips. Bring your right hand underneath of your face, half lift. Left hand to left hip. Bend your right knee deeply and peel your left shoulder open for a twist. Good. Option to raise your left arm high, or left hand toward the ceiling. Eventually, that right knee might start to straighten. Doesn't have to today. Shoulders peel away from earlobes and reach your tailbone in the opposite direction as the crown of your head. Good, big breath in. Exhale, both hands come back to center, both knees bend, switch sides. Left hand under your face, right hand to right hip. Straightening your right leg, bend your left knee. Good, find your twist, reach through your right hip behind you, maybe peel open right arm. Good, imagine I was holding onto your hips and kind of like a turtle coming out of its shell, you're reaching the crown of your head away from your hips. One more breath. On an exhale, hands come down, both knees bend, this time hands to hips, press your feet down, root to rise, stand up tall. Good, from here, roll both shoulders up, back, and down a few times. Big breaths in and out. When you're ready, grab your strap. And we've warmed up the shoulders a little bit with our last version of our Warrior One shoulder flossing. So you might notice that your hands could be just a smidge closer together, but don't push it. We don't need to push it today. Starting at the top of your mat, hands are a little wider than your shoulders, grabbing your strap. When you're ready, step your right foot back, Warrior One. Opposite side. Bend through your front knee, square ribs and shoulders toward the front of your mat. Bend your elbows, pull your hands apart, and then find your flow. Inhale to reach up. Come over your head. Exhale, reach that strap behind you. Widen your hands as much as you need to make that happen. You can keep a little bend in your elbows. If it feels easy, once again, walk the hands an inch closer. Again, notice any tendency to kind of speed through a section of this. See if you can go slow. Next time, arms are back and down. Bend the elbows a little bit to roll your shoulders up and back, and then straighten your arms as much as possible. Deep bend in your front knee. Press down through your back heel and start to lower your chest over your front thigh. Maybe rest there, or for more work, torso to the inside of your front thigh. Keep your balance. Good, shoulders keep reaching back behind you, straight arms, 3 full breaths. Instead of gripping the earth with your toes, press down through both heels. On an exhale, root to rise, press through both feet, reach up and drop your strap over to the side, reach your arms up overhead. Take a big breath in, and on your exhale, hands frame your front foot. Spin your back heel high and drop your knee low lunge. Good, let's all try this just for a little more room. Heel toe your left foot out in space, maybe 6 inches or so. Toes can point at a diagonal. Good, just gives us a little more room to work with. Right hand under shoulder, left arm reaches up, inhale. Exhale, thread the needle, dive under your armpit. Good, continuing with your breath and finding your full expression. Where does your body tell you, that's as far as I go? Honoring that, exploring the edges. Next time your left arm is high, heel toe your left foot back to about hips width distance between your feet. And then press through your feet powerfully, root to rise, low lunge twist. Left rib cage back, right rib cage forward. Take a breath in. Full exhale. Both hands float forward and up. As you exhale, hands frame your front foot, tabletop pose. A few moments of organic movement. And then slide onto your belly. Good, this time take a rest. You can stack hands and place them under your forehead like a pillow or turn a cheek, whichever feels best. Big inhales, expand your belly into the earth. Full exhales, soften skin to muscle, muscle to bone. Good. Prop yourself on your elbows. Good. Right arm can come at a diagonal in front of you under your face. Good. Kick your left heel towards your left hip. Left arm reaches out in front of you. Make a big arc in space like a rainbow and see if you can grab your left foot with your left hand. Inside or outside of foot doesn't matter too much. If you've grabbed your foot, kick your foot into your hand and press your hand into your foot. See if you can do this so much that your kneecap and thigh start to lift off the earth. Roll your right shoulder out of your ear. Kick your foot into your hand and take 2 more breaths. Hug your knees in toward each other. That left knee is going to want to hike out in space. Keep your left hip lowered on the earth. And then lower your knee without slingshotting. Release your foot. Come back to center. And wiggle your hips side to side. Opposite side. Left hand at a diagonal in front of you. Kick your right heel in towards your hip. Right arm reaches forward, up and around to grab your foot. If you've grabbed it, hug your inner thighs in, knees toward each other, and then kick foot into hand. Maybe your thigh starts to lift. Shoulders might be hiking up towards your ears. Roll them down, press the earth away from you with your left elbow. Keep hugging your knees toward each other. One more big breath in. And as you exhale, lower without slingshotting. Come all the way down to your belly. Take a rest. You might like to windshield wiper your heels side to side. And find a sighing breath out. Pausing any movement in your legs. curling your toes under, slide hands next to ribs. On an exhale, we'll lift. See if you can lift hips and chest at the same time. Down dog or child's pose. Take this time to find any optional movements, vinyasas, creative expression, or simple rest. When you're ready, we'll meet in a seat. Make sure your seat is comfortable and your strap is nearby. Let's actually start there. Make sure your strap is right next to you, and then we'll extend our legs out in front of us. Give them a little shake side to side, up and down. And bring your right foot to the earth. Good. Flex your left foot and draw that whole left leg toward the midline of your body and over toward the right. Just enough so you have lots of clearance room to cross right foot over left thigh. See if you can heel toe that right foot away from your hips and stack your knees on top of each other. Good. For many bodies, a little extra tightness in the hip means that there's going to be lots of space between our knees. You can sandwich that with block, with blanket, or just leave it be and flex both feet really strongly. Our other option is to, of course, bend that bottom knee. If this feels very intense on your left hip, I recommend just keeping that bottom leg straight. Good. From here, grab your strap. If your strap is like mine and has like a heavier buckle side, place that in your right hand. Good. Either way, one end of the strap in your right hand, bring that to the back of your head. Left arm reaches out, palm back, thumb down. Bend your elbow and reach for the other side of your strap. Good, I'll turn around so you can see a little better. You might just pause here. Roll your shoulders back, roll your elbows back, and pull your hands apart. But if you're looking for more of a stretch instead of action, then you can walk your hands closer together along your strap. For some bodies, you could interlace fingers. Just notice where you're at today. Wherever you are, roll your shoulders back and draw your elbows back. Sitting up nice and tall, feeling a gentle lift in your chest and a groundedness in the sits bones, action and support in your legs. First hand to release is bottom hand, left hand reaches out. Right hand releases, set your strap down to the side. We'll add a little cat-cow movement. Inhale, reach arms back, chest up. And exhale, round your back. You might even dive your arms forward toward your extended left foot. Come back up, inhale, arms stretch back, reach your chest. And exhale, dive forward. Nice and slow, one more time. Inhale to expand. Exhale to draw in. Good. Melt and roll all the way back up and help your legs to unravel. Hands behind you, feet wide, rock your knees side to side. Gomukhasana, cow face pose, opposite side. Left foot draws in, right leg extends. Flex your right toes And allow that leg to cross the midline of your body toward the left. Endeavor to stack your knees. No need to ever really get there. We're just looking for a nice stretch. 6 or 7 out of 10 in sensation. We can breathe through it and it feels good. Good option to bend that bottom leg. The closer your heels are to your hips, the more gentle this will be on your hips. And then grab your strap. Left hand to top of your strap. Bring that behind your head. Whichever side you didn't do before. Right arm reaches out, thumb down, and grab for your strap. Good. If you felt a lot of tension last time, you may have just walked your hands a little too close together or been using a little too much energy. So we're looking for that balance between effort and ease. So before you walk your hands closer, shoulders are back, elbows are back, chin is down, chest is high. This might be plenty where your hands have landed, or you may walk your hands just a smidge closer. Good. Notice what you're feeling and where. Without any judgment about it, breathe into it. On your next exhale, right hand releases, left hand releases, set your strap down. A few rounds of these, inhale to reach back, chest up. Exhale, slowly dive forward. Continue at your pace. And rolling all the way back up, help your legs along. And this time we'll send both legs out in front of us, give them a little shake. Move the flesh back and apart from each sits bone. Flex your feet, sit up tall, and sweep your arms up, inhale. Gaze up at your thumbs. And as you exhale, keep gazing at your thumbs, hinge at your hips forward for your fold. Allow your hands to settle down either next to your legs or maybe grabbing wherever feels appropriate. Shins or ankles. If you find your feet, I recommend grabbing the outer feet and pulling back on the outer edge of your feet instead of your toes. Wherever you've landed, if it's comfortable, rest your head in space. Drop your shoulders. Let your jaw be slack. Take a deep inhale. Full body exhale. With abdominal support, walk your hands closer to your hips. Come up. Removing anything you're seated on. We'll make our way onto our backs. You can slink down, or we'll find kind of an energetic way or controlled way to get there if you'd like. Making sure hips are about at the middle of your mat, extending your legs, palms touch. I like to cross my thumbs for a little support. Reach your arms out in front of you. Squeeze your inner thighs together and press your heels down. Take an inhale. Exhale, keep pressing your heels down as you roll your spine down in space. Heels will slide, but keep them down on your mat. Tailbone, lowest part of your spine, the ribs first. as slow as you can go into your great stretch. Pause there for a breath, maybe even two if it feels good, and then knees to chest. And rocking side to side, releasing your lower back. And release your knees, set your feet down for bridge pose. And walking your elbows, before we go there, walking your elbows really close to your ribs. Keep your hips down and press your elbows down to lift the center of your chest up. This might feel like you're picking up your shoulder blades and rolling them down, and then setting the shoulder blades down once again. Keep this broad lift in your chest. Keep your elbows pressing into your mat, and then lift your hips. Good. Keep drawing your elbows down. Option to interlace fingers behind your lower back for Yoga Mudra, pressing the pinky sides of your fingers down into the mat. Wherever your hands are, soften your jaw. Feel collarbones broad, and take 2 more breaths. Releasing any bind, slowly roll all the way down. And before moving at all, hips down, take a breath. And figure 4, crossing your right ankle over left thigh. You might even place a hand on either hip and make sure that the hips stay square as you energetically push your right knee away from your chest. Tendency would be that the left hip hikes up and the right hip lowers toward the front of your mat. Try and keep the hips really in line. And finding any variation that you choose, any binds with the hands, or a gentle movement. Start to notice a lengthened exhale, a natural pause at the bottom of breath. Releasing any binds, drop your left foot down, keep the shape in your legs, and then drop your knees to the right. The right ankle is crossing left thigh, and the knees and legs are just floating to the right for a twist. If this doesn't feel good on your knees, then uncross your ankle and just stack your knees like we did at the beginning. Breathing slightly deeper than normal. Allowing your exhale to be just a little longer than your inhale. And knees back to center. Left ankle crosses right thigh. Keeping hips square. Find your stretch. Left knee floats away from the core of the body. And find your bind or pause in stillness. On your next exhale, release right foot to the earth. Keep the shape of your legs and drop your knees to the left. Arms take any shape. And exhales are complete. Gentle abdominal support to bring legs back to center. Unravel and take your time to slide into Shavasana. Adding anything to make you as comfortable as possible. Spending the next few minutes in your stillness. Releasing all effort around breath. Letting every exhale naturally occur without your input. Rest, and I'll call you back in a few moments. If you're very comfortable, you can stay here in Shavasana for as long as you'd like. And we'll start to breathe a little deeper if we're coming out, adding small movements in fingers, toes, jaw. And as you begin to breathe deeper, create bigger movements, and slide onto your side for fetal position. I'll do a short reading from Pema Chodron. The way to dissolve our resistance to life is to meet it face to face. When we feel resentment because the room is too hot, we could meet the heat and feel its fieriness and its heaviness. When we worry because the wind is shaking our windows, we could meet the wind and hear its sound. Cutting our expectations for a cure is a gift we can give ourselves. There's no cure for hot and cold. They will go on forever. Like the tides of the sea, like day and night, this is the nature of things. Being able to appreciate, to look closely, to open our minds. This is the core of loving kindness. Take all the time you need to find a seat. Bookending your practice with gratitude. Seeing in your heart a sense of compassion for your own experience, wherever you are, whatever is happening. But you can always extend that loving kindness to yourself. And that the more you practice that, the easier it is to give it away. Namaste.